1 week after launch, should you play Blue Protocol Star Residence? Solo? No. With friends? Sure, give it a try. First off, I would like to make clear that I have not read any other reviews before making this video with around 50 hours in game. This is a tricky game to review, mainly because its progression is time-gated. Yes, you heard me. Some content like the main quest, exploration, player levels, talents, upgrades, etc. are time-gated, meaning that this review is only relevant early on in the game's lifespan. More stuff releases quickly, so if you are not watching this around October 2025, then your experience may vary. I attempted to do everything I could, but I needed to get this review out, so it's highly likely that I missed a couple of things. Let's get into the details. Blue Protocol Star Residence is an anime-styled MMORPG developed by Shanghai Bokura Network Technology Co. Limited, a subsidiary of Tencent, published by A+, and released on October 9th, 2025 for PC, iOS, and Android. First things first, the character creator. It has many options, some of which can be unlocked later. Great for an MMO and for RP. You know who you are. Moving on. What do you get when you take an isekai anime, bleach it, run it through an AI translator, hand it off to the juicer from That's So Raven, and infuse its constituents into ordinary sausage's latest creation with salt, pepper, and garlic powder? Star Residence's story. That's the isekai water. It's the I can't believe it's not butter of anime stories that melted on your countertop. Incredibly generic with some sweet parts. Let's boil down the first arc to what I can remember off the top of my head. We start when our OC, some person in a spacesuit, sees an anomaly and decides to touch it like a moron. We wake up in an unfamiliar land called Ass Turd Leaves, city of Febreze or something, with amnesia, and get brought up to speed by a green-haired girl named Arona. For saving our life, she guilts us into becoming an adventurer to help pay off her debt as partners. We meet the completionist and a catboy during a festival where we find out our partner is actually a strong adventurer who's just really lazy. After the festival, serious stance.
The other three are optional.
That is not what I clicked.
We take on a bounty at the nearby Asteria Plains, where we meet a snowman in the middle of the summer. Psych, it's Tina Turner, who was investigating the tales of the plains when void monsters showed up. We help dispatch them, and Eri relates the phenomenon to the void engram. Our investigations lead us to a cave where our hand experiences post-nut cramping. Eric helps us and we fight the mysterious man in black who seems to be the cause and drive him away. Later, we officially join the Pioneers Bureau through Valeria City of 1,000 Planets and continue our research on the Man in Black. We are commissioned to kill some thugs, we do that, and they drop some classified documents. We don't care if it's a federal crime, and read them. They reveal Tina to be a hero who helped create something called Haruga's Seal during the previous war with the Dark Mist Legion. As thanks, the Council of Cucks, Ass Turd Leaves' ruling body, confined Tina to the city and the immediate area. Upon further consideration, she will now be posthumously awarded a medal soon for her efforts. This confused me because she is very much alive. We then find out the commissioner of this particular quest was Olvera, commander of the Ass Turd Leaves Defense Corps, of which the completionist is a part of too. We turn in the classified documents and chill out at a bar, only for us to sight the man in black in town. We find him and chat over some coffee, only to find out he's planning to attack Tina's award ceremony. We then let him get away. Booking it over to the ceremony, we stand and watch, literally doing nothing as Tina touches the metal, which, surprise, surprise, is cursed with the void engram. She starts to become corrupted and leaps away like a frog. We make a small task force and catch up to her and the man in black, who we fight again. Once defeated, he disappears into the void engram in Tina's body, and we touch it because we didn't learn our lesson about touching things the first time. Now in Tina's memory, the game makes us walk agonizingly slow to reveal her past. After Tina created the seal, she was put on trial with the Council of Cucks for some reason. Olvera tried to prevent her confinement, but failed a speech check, and Tina's edgy side rightfully calls bullshit on the situation. We then find ourselves with good Tina's consciousness and relive her Vietnam flashbacks together, ultimately ending in an edgy Tina boss fight. Once stunned, we go for a grab of her right boob with our gooning hand and once again wake up having no memory of what the hell happened. It turns out we were successful and Tina is pretty much back to normal. So we fuck around with Aragog on a beach for a while and head back to our room. A present is waiting there for us, which turns out to be another trap. Totally didn't see that one coming. A mysterious voice uses mind control to force us to travel into the Master Cuck's room, but we are quickly snapped out of it by Eris. She explains that the big bad is most likely Hruga the Witch, head of the Dark Mist Legion, whom Tina sealed during the war, netting her the title of Seal Watcher. The Cuckold King, Almond, is putting together a team to look into this matter, of which we join because we're bored. The next day, we investigate who tampered with Tina's metal with Ariamis. Guessing it has something to do with the Artisan Guild, we meet its leader, Dorothy. After questioning her and searching the premises with no warrant, we discover that an artisan named Ryan is accountable for the tampering, who will shortly be at the ancient city of Vil in about 5 minutes. We arrive with Mommy and Aaron just in time to save Ryan from the Dark Mist Legion. He reveals that he was coerced to tamper with the metal because his family was in danger. Sure, Ryan. Tell that to the guillotine. Anyway, we return to Astherd Leaves to give Almond the rundown. He clears Ariandel's gambling debt. Yay! And now it's time to fuck around again. What's this? A party boat has coincidentally appeared in the port? Perfect. Hey, the completionist and the catboy are here. Your cat is missing? Maybe you should have kept a shock collar on it so it wouldn't have moved. So we help the catboy get his cat back. In the process, we reveal the party boat's owner to not actually be the party boat's owner because the party boat's real owner is on the party boat pretending to be the party boat's fake owner's party boat bodyguard a floor above the party boat's fake owner. Oh, and the party boat's fake owner wired the party boat's real owner's financial assets into his account. The party boat's real owner's name is Tultrod, by the way. He's a young SEO from the neighboring Brynhold where the Dark Mist Legion originally splintered from. The boat explodes like in the end of Phantom Blood, and its fake owner is hauled away by the completionist. Toffanau reveals that he is on a secret mission to eradicate the Dark Mist Legion and their leader, Denzel Washington. He joins our investigation after conferring with Almond and asks us to check the archives for records of the Legion's deputy commander, Jaden. No, not that Jaden. This leads us to the Towering Ruin when after some Titanfall 2 effect and cause shenanigans, but it's actually Quantum Conundrum coded, we fight a boss. Once defeated, Jaden's memory remnant that retained some self-awareness using an Imagine Sneed suggests that we should use that same Sneed to help Denzel Washington snap out of his anger. Tata says his tatas to Jaden. Outside, Mr. Washington teleports in using the Space Stone, giving us the perfect opportunity to use the Imagine Sneed. As time stops, we witness some of Denzel Washington's memories. His pride for the Legion fails him after they lose a single battle. This leads Furuga to take advantage of his anger to control him. We snap back to reality and Denzel goes Washo mode. We manage to prevent him from destroying the Sneed, but he retreats and kidnaps Tattletale.
Ew, don't worry, I sprinkled crack on him. We can use my crack detector to trace his crack trail.
No, you fucking did not, Tina. Anyway, we follow the crack trail to the Mist Legion's prison and are forced to undertake the world's shittiest stealth section to free Tantalini. We overhear the Man in Black convince Denzel Washington to wipe the Seal Watchers and the entirety of Asterd Leaves away, using Haruga's dark-sounding horn. It's been charged with dark piths for the past 3 years. Denzel Washington then sounds the ground and the dark piss rises. Things go to piss, but we return to Asterd Leaves and notify Almond of what the hell's happening. He tells us to either help or get the fuck out, handing us a military report and a boat ticket. We decide to help and give our Discord kitten the ticket to ride with the promise of our success. We then travel to the guard post outlined in the military report and find Mommy there with the completionist. They point us in the direction of the Andhra trading post to help. On our way, we find Ariana in the middle of protecting a priest named Stanley from some Legion attackers. We kill them, get soft-locked,
Did it soft lock?
kill them again, and lead the priest to the trading post. The people here are affected by the void engram, causing our goon senses to go haywire. Era tells us we are going to fucking dissolve out of existence soon and can only offer healing as a temporary solution. We need the priest's legacy, also known as the engram collector, to help, but it turns out Flat Stanley here is pro-war. I won't be surprised if he has stock in weapons manufacturing and is revealed to be pulling some strings later. To convince Stanley, we do a stupid persuasion minigame, if you can call it that. All I did was clasp my hands 3 times and act content like a goody two-shoes. Staniel gives us the collector, which looks like the summoning key from COD Zombies, and Erlo does a little animation to infuse it with engram, the opposite of the void engram. You can think of engram in this world to be the equivalent to life force or the soul. This heals those infected, and after a little scuffle, this whole predicament is revealed to be a distraction, so Denzel Washington can sound the ground once more and create more void anomalies. Things dig deeper in the shit pile as more dark piss streams rise from the ground around Astrid Leaves. We first go to Mr. Horny, and for some reason, the Catboy is there. He tells us that an electric storm is plaguing the town, which was probably caused by a lightning core that spawned from the void anomaly. While killing some monsters to break the electric barrier, the Catboy explains that he wants to be just like us. Oh no. We kill a boss, and just as we destroy the core, the Catboy saves us from its final lightning bolt and fucking dies. No, this isn't some fake out death. He's actually dead. They killed the Catboy, guys. Fuck. Our character sheds some tears despite only knowing him for a couple of days, and we somehow bury him in a grave 2 feet away in clear weather, then return to the lightning core in stormy weather. What? A void sigil then appears just under where the lightning core was located, which we can't do anything about right now. We decide to meet Aranto at the statue of the hero just as she deals with another core on her own. We tell her of the Catboy's fate. She has a moment of silence, then brings us to check on the forest wardens. Well, the forest wardens turn out to be the Catboy's own parents. We find his diary, which unveils that he had a sibling who also died, making his parents reluctant to let him join the pioneers as they feared for his safety. I guess they were proven right. The Catboy's cat shows up and leads us to his parents, who we save from monsters. Then immediately upon their return home, we break the news of their son's death.
Want a break from the ads?
They head to his grave, distraught as Ayrton sings a melancholic melody that really should have been voice acted, and we get some flashbacks of the Catboy, just like an episode of Naruto.
You are my friend!
Back at the trading post, Mommy explains that Tina and Tatooine are attempting to capture Denzel Washington at a Dark Legion post. We meet them and do some final prep. Ratatouille drops a piece of his journal, which we read and find out has an egregious typo. There is also a photograph inside depicting him with Denzel Washington and Jaden. Now that we're ready, we do another shitty stealth section, perform some karate on Legion members without eye insurance, and fail at knocking out Denzel. Tatafras saves us from Denzel, who teleports away once we whip out the Imagine Sneed. Thinking he is about to die, Tatalyzer reveals that Jaden was actually his senior in Brynhald's Night Order, and Denzel was his mentor before they defected. He isn't about to die though, he just has a broken rib or two. We return to the trading post and split up with Tina to look for clues on fixing the void sigils. We traverse a toxic tunnel to find Stanley the Priest once again, who is mad at us for collecting engrams. This prompts him to shatter the engram collector he was holding.
What a baby.
Just then, the toxic mist spikes in concentration, and we save some Legion soldiers from death because we are the good guys. Flat Stanley doesn't understand why we were doing this, which makes him pretty shitty at his job. Regardless, he tells us that the Kanamanapia tribe may have another engram collector that we can make use of. Fast forward, we meet Europa, and she tells us that during her investigation into the tribe with Mommy, a culturally insensitive blow dart got shot at them, which held a message. This message led them to other messages with clues on how to infiltrate the tribe. This ultimately culminates into us sneaking into it at night while wearing their garb, looking for the Forbidden Zone. We do some eavesdropping and find out the Forbidden Zone is used for blessing rituals, but has since been closed for far too long, making it hard for the tribe members to heal their injuries. We make use of some fireworks to distract the guards and attempt to enter the Forbidden Zone. Looks like this will be a walk in the park, and it faded in due to poor draw distance. The mysterious messenger, the only character other than Arona to have jiggle physics by the way, turns out to be the tribe's priestess. We play the question game with her, and she reveals her name to actually be Motorola. Her divining power led her to believe that we are the key to ending the tribe's trouble. To do this, we need to become the Kanamiya Brave, which means we need to undergo a selection process. The tribe's leader, Rocholololo, begins the selection by having us collect hunting trophies. Motorola tells us to hunt Iron Fang, something that hasn't been done in a long time. I personally don't know about that. Every hour on the half-hour adventures blast him to smithereens. Nevertheless, it was an easy fight and everybody was amazed. The next trial turns out to be a round-robin fighting tournament. This goes as quickly as you'd expect. Rocholololo selects us as the Katamari Brave and divulges that he knew we were from Astrid Leaves all along. This is because Mommy and Tiny Tina had clued him in ahead of time. Those fuckers. Anyway, he reveals that Motorola is actually his daughter. and that the tribe once helped Ashturd Leaves in their independence war against Bernhold, but shut themselves off from contact after taking too many losses. Regardless, Rotolololo sees no issue with our appointment and allows us to go inside the Forbidden Zone, provided we find the missing key, of course. Motorola thinks she knows where the key is located and brings us to the Wander site. This is where the spirits of Twilight fans walk, also those who perished in the Independence War. Don't worry, they are mostly harmless. She gives us a staff to send the spirits to the afterlife, once owned by her late sister, Yar Etsy, who died in the war too. If you had this staff the whole time, why didn't you just do it? It's your job as a priestess. So we enter the Wander site by ourselves and immediately meet the bound spirit Teddy Roosevelt, who helps us in our quest. In the process, we learn that he once led the Artisan Guild to help Overa set up defenses during the Independence War. Oh yeah, Yaretsi was there too. Just a side note, the wandering spirits here loop in their final moments. I found it pretty funny that the artisan spirits just frantically rub their turrets. Anyhow, we send everyone off, including Teddy, who handed Mommy the ignition key to their defenses just before he died. She cried at this, which apparently was a rarity for folks who knew her. We then find a drop diary which explains that Yar Etsy sacrificed herself and a group of others to lure the Bernhold soldiers away from Mommy so she can use the ignition key. Finally, we find Yar Etsy's spirit, who seems to have also retained some form of self-awareness. She pleads with us to take the Forbidden Zone's key from her cold, dead hands. As we do, she is finally able to pass on. Or at least I hope she did, because we just get teleported out of there with no cutscene to confirm it. Okay, now we just have to enter the Forbidden Zone, and the tribe is attacked by a storm. We save some people and decide to find the storm's source in Dragon Claw Valley. Blah blah blah, we follow Motorola to the source where Ignoramus, the storm dragon, was spawned in by the Void Anomaly. Oh no, he's taken everyone hostage. Well, we quickly do enough damage to free them, and they help kill him for good. We destroy the storm core and head back to the tribe to do a Return of the Jedi Ewok celebration. Okay, now we can go into the Forbidden Zone. Inside is another engram collector like the priest had mentioned before. Rocholololo and Motorololo allow us to take it. As we do, we get a vision of our past, which everyone finds interesting but decides to discuss it after we solve the current crisis like a rational group of people. Motorololo is sad that we are leaving, hinting that she likes us but states that our destiny is tied with another. We then go around using the engram collector on each void sigil, cleansing them. Along the way, we are reminded of the Catboy by a little girl who looked up to him. Aww, how sweet. Anyway, we cleanse the final sigil, which took no time at all, prompting a big boom to hail from Ashturd Leaves. We return home to help defend it from the Dark Mist Legion. Hi Completionist, hi Dorothy, hi Tatas. During a brief respite, we use our noggin to piece together that this was all a distraction again by Denzel Washington, so he can place another sigil. If successful, this would undo all of our work. But where would he place it? Oh, why, the shrine at the town's peak, silly. Along the path up to it, our engram collector shatters from the shockwave of another big boom. We suck up its pieces like a dragon soul in Skyrim and briefly go unconscious. We wake up to our friends who explain that we now hold the engram collector's vast power within us. However, we are incredibly fragile. So fragile, in fact, that we can't run, but we can jump. Our friends do that go on without me thing and give us a miniature version of themselves as a charm.
That's a little version of me, Alan. I want you to have it.
I don't really want this.
I dance at their goal. Arriving at the shrine, we Kamehameha the void barrier and approach Denzel Washington. The pressure exuding from him is so powerful it decouples our walk cycle from our walk speed. The following cutscene consists of pure hype moments in aura, just like an episode of Solo Leveling. After being bogged down by Denzel Washington's purple stank, we use the power of friendship to rise up against him with our own blue version. Our friends then appear behind us during a black screen of text. Now that Denzel's weakened, he opts to slowly walk in our direction while telling us to move the fuck out of the way. We don't. He bitch slaps Tattoo away and then teleports out. I guess he just really wanted to bitch slap somebody. A generic NPC, who I believe is Flat Stanley, is then shown sneaking peeks at us from behind a pillar. Oh wow. Everyone decides to prep for a raid on the Dark Mist Fortress in the next couple of days. Time passes and Ashturd Leaves is fully restored, and everyone hypes us up for the raid. Now at the Dark Mist Fortress, we briefly fight Denzel Washington again and use the Imagine Sneed on him as he escapes further into the fortress. More of his memories resurface as we make our way through using an anti-gravity ring that he dropped to traverse some gravitational anomalies and clear some void corruption. We absorb more engram pieces into our being and arrive at the final battle. Partway through the fight, Denzel merges with the sounding horn and goes Super Washo Violet. We easily take care of him, and with one final punch, he fucking dissolves. Everyone celebrates, but Aradesh points out that we punched too hard and launched the sounding horn somewhere. Just then, the man in black surrounds us with corrupted Ashturd Leaves soldiers, forcing us to hesitate in defeating them. Tina is cornered and accidentally calls upon her magic left tit to cleanse everyone. After another black screen with text, we return outside and find out Tina actually used the power of the core of Stellarium, the same power she once used illegally to seal Fruga. The problem is, it's now fading away, and since her engram is merged with it, she is going to die unless we resonate with an engram convergence point. So instead of teleporting directly to one, we take a leisurely walk as Tina suffers and finally make it just as she passes out. While we resonate, we manage to find the remnants of Tina's engram in the darkness and are able to successfully revive her at the cost of completely losing the core of Stellarium. Everyone is relieved that she is alive, but Mommy reminds Tina that since she used the core without permission, she will most likely be put on trial by the Cuck Council. Wow, history does repeat itself. Now back at Ashturd Leaves, everyone celebrates our victory. Almond immediately confirms that Tina will indeed be put on trial in the next couple of days, but is glad she at least saved some people. We return to the inn to settle down and find out that Valeria, City of 1,000 Planets, Dorothy, and the Completionist are here to congratulate us on our victory. Once in bed, we dream of our memories. A mysterious woman is shown surrounded by rune sentinels and tells us that she is waiting for us. Following that, another voice mentions that our destiny lies where our journey once began. We wake up and explain things to Aeronica, who reveals our engram to actually be the star engram. It turns out we might actually be a very important person in the grand scheme of things. No shit. She then suggests that we can probably recover our memories by resonating at more engram convergence points and hubs around the world. Coincidentally, she also found out that the man in black has possession of Fruga's sounding horn and has taken it to the Baja Blastlands, so that's our next destination in our grand journey. Time to say our goodbyes to everyone. We first speak to Mommy, who gives us a jar of crack to take on our journey. Next up is Tina, who shoves a metal compass she once used when she was a little girl in a caravan into our hands. She makes us promise that we don't ever forget her and our other friends. I have a feeling she may be behind bars pretty soon. Now that that's over, we find Air Bear at the town square and confess to her that we aren't sure defeating the Dark Mist Legion was worth it. The first arc ends with Aerona pulling a one above all in Sensational Spider-Man number 40 by showing us all the people we have helped to remind us of our importance. Blue Protocol Star Residence's gameplay is actually not too bad. It combines systems from other MMOs like WoW and Final Fantasy XIV, as well as Gatcha games like Genshin and Wuthering Waves. You travel around the world leveling up by fighting enemies, unlocking waypoints, and completing quests that are divided into categories. You've got the main story quests, guide quests, world quests, regions quests, and event quests, each usually net some sort of experience or currency. The MSQ is going to be your main source of XP in this game, but some regional quest lines will give you a neat boost. Two in particular come to mind: the Underground quest line where you fight the Scorpion, the Joker, and the Riddler. I won't elaborate.
You want to know how I got these Imagine Seeds?
And the Highland Scholar questline, where you help two different teams of scholars with their research in the Highlands. To be honest, I skipped most of the dialogue in the Underground questline because I couldn't fucking handle it anymore, but I read the entirety of the Scholar one, whose story is still progressing as we speak. As you progress, you unlock better ways to travel around the world. The dash and float abilities can be found in specific areas in the Asteria Plains. Every 5 or so level ups, you'll gain extra jumps, learn to pogo, wall run, wall kick, and levitate. Use this to look for hard to reach chests and materials. There are also mounts with different travel-related abilities and skins. Now, let's get into the game's combat. First off, your class. There are 8 classes divided into attack, guard, and support roles, each with their own subclasses, skills, talents, and preferred attributes that I won't delve too deep into as I want to keep this review somewhat short. Let's go in order. Marksman is an attacker which uses a bow and animal partners for long-range AoE-focused combat. Stormblade is an attacker which wields a thunder scythe for close-range DPS. Frostmage is an attacker that casts frost spells from far away and wide AoEs. Wind Knight is an attacker that thrusts with a wind lance in close ranges and in small AoEs. Verdant Oracle is a long-range support class that channels the power of nature to heal, buff, and inflict damage. Heavy Guardian, per its name, is a guard or tank that uses stone magic and a guard blade to damage enemies and defend friends in close range. Shield Knight is another guard which uses a sword and shield with light-based abilities to boast high defense, deal damage, and self-heal. Finally, the Beat Performer is a long-range support class who plays the guitar to buff friends and attack enemies, healing only when actively attacking. I should also mention that you'll eventually be able to choose a second class that you can switch over to at any time after a short unlock quest. Your secondary class will start at whatever level your primary currently is, with the same amount of talent points available. Gear, however, you'll need to procure on your own. It may be easier just to create another character and skip through the story because you share your inventory between classes, preventing you from using all of your resources on your primary class. Now, depending on your class, you will have different skills for combat, but you can only equip so many. Your hotbar has 9 slots. Let's start with the first 7. The first slot is dedicated to your standard weapon attack. Since I chose the Marksman class, I use the bow's attack called Bullseye. The next slot is for your expertise skill, which cannot be switched out. Double arrow for me. The following 4 slots you are able to choose located underneath your first 3 skills. As you level up, you get more options available to you. You also unlock the 4th skill slot, which opens up more variations in your combat rotation. The 7th bubble, the first big one, is for your ultimate ability, the 3rd skill in your menu, which usually has the longest cooldown. To level up your class skills, you need Luma, one of the world's currencies. But that's not all. You can also improve your skills by advancing them. This requires class-specific advanced books that you can get from different sources. More on that later. Class skills can only be leveled up and advanced so far before you reach the cap. However, it is pretty hard to reach the advanced cap because of the material cost. If you wish to reset your skill levels and advancement, then you'll need to buy an Astral Recall key for 200 bound rose orbs in the colorful store. This will refund everything at a 1-for-1 ratio. So what's with those last 2 big bubbles? Those are for your summons, or battle imagines as the game calls them. These are skills that you have to craft from wills, which are usually dropped rarely by world bosses throughout the land, or pulled from wishes. These can also be advanced, provided you have extra copies of the will, along with materials specific to each battle imagine. Craft battle imagines by talking to Mason nearby the alchemy station in town. Your class skills and battle imagines create your combat rotation, which is usually dependent on your skill cooldowns. It took me around 25 hours to finally realize my rotation. Combat revolves around keeping your rotation going while maneuvering around incoming attacks by either changing your positioning or dodging. Timing a perfect dodge, which is denoted by a blue glint, returns some of your health back. Depending on the attack, a perfect dodge will parry and stun the enemy for a brief second. Most of the time, you'll know when an attack is coming from either the enemy's animation or from the giant fuck-off red space that appears on the floor. Some attacks, usually arena-wide AoEs, are practically impossible to react to, meaning that at least one healer and tank are beneficial to have in your party.
Help! Help me! Help!
Enemies also have a white break meter underneath their health, and once you deplete it, they get stunned for a large period of time. Perfect to inflict burst damage. Each class also has its own talent tree, upgrades which you spend talent points on. Your main source of these comes from leveling up, but you can add a couple extra from the talent training guide quest and the trial path activity. The smaller talents are mainly attribute enhancers, while the larger ones have the potential to drastically change your combat rotation. These add new effects, shorten animations, or decrease cooldowns. For instance, one of my talents makes it so when I use my Radiance Barrage skill, I can guarantee a critical hit if I follow up with the Power Draw skill. My whole combat rotation revolves around lowering my cooldowns and upping my crit damage using the Focus skill and the Brigand Scout Leader Battle Imagine to maximize the burst damage potential of this combo. As you progress, the larger talents will start to require talent seals, which you'll need to procure from other means. You can reset talents for free at a click of a button, so make sure you mix and match to see what works for you. Attributes are your character's stats. I'll go through the basic ones fairly quickly. You've got your max HP, which dictates how much damage you can take before dying. Armor reduces the damage you take by physical attacks, while resistance does the same for magic attacks. ATK is your base attack value, while MATK is your base magic attack value. Strength, intellect, and agility all increase the attack attribute for their respective classes. Strength also increases your armor value, intellect your magic resistance, and agility your haste or your attack and cast speed. Endurance increases your max HP value. Crit is your chance for a critical hit when dealing damage. This deals extra crit damage, denoted by an exclamation point, which can be increased as well. Luck is the chance to proc luck effects when healing or dealing single instance damage. This is usually an extra instance of damage or healing denoted by a clover, which increases by 1% for each 1% of luck that you have. Stamina limits how many times you can perform actions such as running, jumping, dodging, etc. These are infinite in large cities like Aster Leeds. Another method to increase your attributes is with gear.
I love gold.
There are 11 different types of gear: your weapon, helmet, armor, gauntlets, boots, earrings, necklace, ring, left bracelet, right bracelet, and charm. Each has their own rarity, level, perfection, attributes, refining effects, and bonus effects. The rarity is as follows: white, common; green, uncommon; blue, rare; purple, epic;
Wow, gold and legendary.
red, relic. The higher the rarity, the lower the drop rate. Gear drops as rewards for many things, but your best bet is to complete dungeons, followed by world bosses. Beware, the legendary drop rate is pretty low, and you'll be grinding for a while.
You got on the Benjamin Franklin Civil War loafers.
Higher gear levels generally mean they are stronger, and they can be further improved by refining, reforging, and embedding gems, each with their own material requirements. When you reforge a piece of gear using reforged stones, its attributes, which increase your character's own attributes, improve. You have to reforge to unlock the bonus attribute on the bottom, which has a chance to reroll every time you do so. Perfection is the amount of times you can increase attributes by rerolling, and going over a gear's max perfection, denoted by a lock, simply rerolls its bonus attribute.
Yep, you're a lucky luck boy.
You can grind reforged stones through trials and dungeons, which I'll talk about later. Pro tip: if you are stuck with a piece of gear with a lower rarity, it is generally recommended that you only spend enough reforged stones to max out the perfection, because any extra spent won't be returned when you dismantle it. Refining increases the armor or attack values for the gear slot itself, meaning you will still get the benefit no matter what gear you are currently wearing. You need some variation of Starforge crystals, Forge stones, and Luno to refine. Embedding increases a piece of gear's attributes depending on the gem you slot in, like Materia in Final Fantasy XIV. You can get gems either by buying them through the auction house or by mining and crafting them using your life skills, which we'll cover more later. Okay, so leveling, skills, battle imagines, talents, and gear all contribute to your battle effectiveness, totaling into your ability score located on your profile. Be warned, some activities will have a recommended ability score, so you don't instantly die when you start them.
Bro, I'm dead again?
So what kind of activities other than the standard battles and quests involve combat? Trial path. These are a series of fights that get progressively harder for each one you complete. Progress is saved, so if you can't beat one, come back when you are stronger. The main reward you get from these are extra talent points and talent seals, which are very nice.
Nice.
There are different trial paths for attack, support, and guard, so if you have a secondary class, make sure you do both paths. Trials.
Trials of Mana.
Fuck.
Similar name, different thing. Trials are boss battles that you can play with up to 4 other players by either creating a party with your friends or matchmaking. It is recommended to have at least 1 tank, 1 healer, and 1 DPS in your party to get a 25% damage boost. Gear and other materials drop upon the trial's completion. Dungeons.
Chaos.
A genre staple. You and 4 other people explore dungeons that hold enemies, puzzles, traps, and a boss at the end, provided you have the recommended ability score to attempt them. So far, these have been harder than the trials, and can even have modifiers depending on the season. For instance, right now there is a small chance for a special void enemy to spawn in that drops a random legendary item when defeated. Normally, dungeons are your best method for grinding legendary items, guaranteeing a choice between 2 types of legendary gear pieces upon your first hard mode completion. Legendary weapons always have a very low chance to drop, but each dungeon has specific legendary gear in their item pool. Make sure you aren't grinding for gear that you already have. But if you are looking only for a legendary weapon, then just grind Goblin Lair hard over and over. Drops tend to favor your class 2.
I got P, but I'll still auto this.
Okay, HP.
Yo, what? Bruh, I got the legendary shield. Bruh.
I can't see my forehead.
Bro, I got another shield.
You're kidding, bro.
No, I got another shield.
Good fucking shit.
Yes. First try.
But okay,
Oh, I
I
got
think
a helmet.
First.
I think it's class specific because I got another weapon.
got
The shield.
Dungeons sport different difficulties, and as of right now, there is a normal and hard mode with Master coming right around the corner. Grind on hard and Master when that drops. World bosses and elites. World bosses and elites are special monsters scattered in specific spots around the world. They take a fairly large group of people to defeat due to their high health pools and high damage attacks. You will be knocked down a lot, but don't fret. Healing is abundant and anybody can revive you to full health by pressing F to pay their respects. Both world bosses and elites have both item drops and chests that you can use their respective keys on, of which you gain 2 a day up to a max of 6. Upon killing them, world bosses have a low chance to drop special legendary gear, and when you open their chests, they also have a chance to give you their wills. These guys usually take a long time to defeat and respawn at specific times. For instance, Iron Fang spawns every hour on the half hour and is usually dead within 7 minutes across all world lines. People are constantly sending notifications in the world chat to let you know what has respawned, what world line they are on, and what health they have. Make sure to check the world chat often and press P to switch world lines if you're on a world boss hunt. Fill out your monster hunt page and channel your inner parasite to maximize your rewards.
101 is like 70%. Nah, I'm going lower.
43, 43.
43, 43.
44. 49.
49's dead.
51.
25. Let's try 25.
Try 50.
75.
54?
Yeah, I
Let's
guess.
try 54. 54 is about to
45%.
die. 54 is about to die.
I'm in.
54.
54.
54.
I've contributed.
75.
Alright, what's the next one
I
we
just
jump
don't
to?
like the overlay in general. I'm going 101. About to
was
reach
after this?
50.
What was
119
the
maybe?
119?
119.
Well,
After 101.
yeah, after this. After.
Okay, 119 is still
50.
high.
110, 110.
133 is at Fang.
So is 140. 143 is lower. So you're at 133?
Yeah.
What? Yeah,
I'm
133.
gonna jump over there.
It's full. No more preloading, I guess.
You just gotta type in a random one.
144. It's dead.
Yeah, it's getting to that time. There's not going to be very many left.
It's been 10 minutes.
I love Hatsune Miku and BL. Guild hunts. By creating a guild and recruiting at least 10 people to crowdfund its center, you can go on guild hunts every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, twice for rewards. During the hunt, you have around 6 minutes to defeat 2 bosses at the same time. Bring a tank to separate them and a healer to heal injuries, otherwise you'll have to wait 30 seconds to respawn if you go down. The rewards mainly consist of some exquisite Battle Imagined materials, a decent amount of guild tokens, and some guild loot crates which can have a variety of things inside, including talent seals and advanced books. Guild tokens can be spent in your guild market for other materials, mainly guild supply boxes and focus point restoration potions, which are very important. Steinman Vault. Hit of 1,000 trials, basically. Clear floor after floor for rewards, with each one increasing in difficulty and stacking modifiers.
Oh, wait.
Oh, that's the scanner thing.
I can't get out.
That's the scanner.
Be sure to speak with Daher over in Arena Town to get your rewards. Raids. As of right now, these aren't available yet, but if they are anything like other MMOs, large groups of people will tackle dungeons for high-level gear and upgrade materials. If I'm not mistaken, this is when we'll get to level 60 gear. Current gear only goes up to level 40.
Materialistic things?
Materials. How do you get materials? Well, besides buying them using a variety of different in-game currencies, or whaling, you need to take advantage of life skills to craft them. Yay, crafting. In Star Residence, there are 9 life skills separated into 2 categories, gathering and crafting. Gathering skills such as botany, mineralogy, and gemology require you to go out in the world and collect the base ingredients from designated clusters on your map. Botany for plants, mineralogy for ores, and gemology for gems. If you need to search for a specific material, you can track them through your life skills page. You'll notice when you arrive at a material node when your UI shows a hand that says either normal or focused. Normal gathering costs nothing to do and nets you less valuable and untradeable items. Focused gathering spends focus to collect tradable items that are usually of higher value. Focus regenerates at 400 units a day at around 5 AM, and you have a max amount you can hold, so make sure you spend it. You can also recover 100 focus by using the focus potions bought from your guild marketplace, making joining a guild pretty important. Once you've collected your basic materials, you can head back into town and use your crafting life skills at designated stations to turn them into more valuable ones. These are mostly used to make your character stronger. The crafting skills are alchemy, artisanry, culinary, smelting, gem crafting, and weaving. Artisanry is used for crafting gear-enhancing ingredients, furniture for your homestead, and ranged class weapons. Alchemy creates temporary buffing and healing items for combat. Culinary is the same, but for food. You'll want to focus crafting cheer-up treats to increase the number of rewards from dungeons. Smelting can smelt down your ore into refining materials and allows you to create strength-related weapons, helmets, armor, gauntlets, and boots. Gem crafting uses the raw gems you've collected and cuts them into attribute-increasing variations that you can embed in your gear. You can also craft jewelry-related gear such as earrings, necklaces, bracelets, and rings. Weaving allows you to create dyes, homestead-related materials and furniture, charms, and finally intellect and agility-based helmets, armor, gauntlets, and boots. Life skills generally interact with each other, so you may need materials from one to use in the other. For instance, you need the burning powder created with artisanry to actually smelt refining materials. If for some reason you don't have certain materials, you can access various life skills as exchanges to buy them. However, to do most of these things, you need to spend life skill mastery on each life skills talent tree to unlock certain abilities, recipes, and buffs. You start with 3 mastery and gain 1 more for every 300 focus spent. Life skills have weekly quests that can score you some extra XP too. Most items that you spend focus on can also be sold in the trading center / auction house for Unbound Luno. Life skills can be reset via a reset ticket, which you can buy in the colorful store for around 500 bound rose orbs, or on sale if you are lucky. Now, you may have heard me mention the word homestead a couple of times. Homestead. Yes, player homes are a thing, unlocked after completing the Ocean Platinum card questline. The good thing about it, however, is that each player gets their own plot. That's right, fuck you, FF14 and your stupid lottery system. I haven't spent much time homesteading, so my place stinks. Basically, you can grow shit here, sell it for homestead coins to buy other items used for life skills, or turn it in for commissions that give you coins and homestead experience. Craft furniture, decorate your space, and share it with others. This gives the crafting life skills more of a function. I believe the homestead also includes a storage warehouse, so if you run out of inventory space, just plot some shit in there. You also have the ability to share a homestead with your friends, very helpful if you want to continue parasite maxing. And finally, homesteads can be upgraded to expand the livable space and add more stuff to the homestead store. There's more? Yes, we've got the fucking battle pass. We all know how these work by now, right? Do shit to unlock other exclusive shit. Buy the advanced versions with real cash to get even more exclusive shit. Each season you'll have a daily check-in and a list of activities that you can engage in for season pass XP and merit milestones. There are also season-specific achievements that can be completed to improve your character's glowing armband and unlock special outfits/materials. All of this usually involves doing the activities I've previously mentioned, with some added social stuff sprinkled in. Complete dungeons, trials, bosses, take photos, plead in the chat for someone to join your guild, do seasonal events, go AFK to shit and accumulate points while your character awkwardly watches a reenactment of the dancing plague of 1518, fish. Wait, there's fishing in this game too.
Rejoice, brothers. 10 out of 10 game. I take back everything I said.
Guilds. Like many other MMOs, guilds exist. After completing a handful of quests, you are able to do one of two things. You can take the easy route and join a guild by searching for its name or ID, or you can be like me and buy a guild charter for 200 bound rose orbs to create one. If you choose to create a guild, you will need to amass at least 10 members by employing different psychological methods on unsuspecting players and force them to crowdfund the guild center. Once unlocked, you can enter your guild center, access its facilities, and upgrade them using guild experience and guild funds. Your primary goal is to upgrade the guild center, which will allow you to upgrade the other facilities. The leisure area is where you can chill, chat with others, and cook some food. Upgrading this increases the max number of members you can have in your guild, which starts at 80. I've already covered the guild store earlier, but this is where you trade guild coins for helpful items. Upgrading this unlocks more items for purchase. The Boon Fountain gives guild-wide buffs pertaining to gathering and some battle buffs for a specific dungeon. Upgrading this unlocks even more buffs and allows you to have more than one going at the same time. The photo panel displays photos that you have uploaded to the guild album. They must be approved though. There are 2 panels available, and upgrading them stores more images that cycle through. The guild's ID machine allows you to alter your profile portrait and card photo. These use specific guild vouchers that you can buy at the guild store. The practice room is a place to test your combat rotation, something you'll need to do if you don't wish to have auto combat on at all times. Both the ID machine and the practice room cannot be upgraded. There are also guild activities such as Guild Hunt and Guild Dance, which reward you with guild merits, funds, experience, and tokens. I'll skip explaining Guild Hunt as I already did so earlier, but Guild Dance is an activity that has you dance in the center of your guild. Dance enough and you earn bound Lumo and guild tokens, as well as buffs for the Guild Hunt. So ideally, you'll plan to dance first and then hunt later. You also have access to the guild cargo. Here you can submit items that you've gathered and crafted for rewards. Each item has a volume value that changes daily, and once you've submitted at least 2,000 worth of volume, you can choose to depart it and receive Unbound Luno, guild tokens, merits, and experience. The following day, you'll receive return rewards, which include Bound Luno, honor coins, guild tokens, guild funds, and some basic star chests that you can open. So make sure you return before those disappear. By the way, don't forget to check in at your guild receptionist every day for more guild experience.
But I swear to God, if you fucking touch her, I'm gonna kick your ass.
And if you want even more guild merits, complete 500 points worth of your seasonal daily activities.
What inspired you to make a second Blue Protocol right after the original flopped?
Money!
This is the part of the video I have been dreading. If you haven't figured it out already, there are many currencies in this game. I've mentioned some of them before, but here's a quick summary. Bound Luno, per the name, is bound to your character and cannot be used in trades with other players. This is primarily used for NPC trading and leveling up your skills. Get it from practically everything. Unbound Luno is mainly used in the trading center/auction house. Use the currency exchange, get some from the season pass, or complete the daily guild cargo. You can also be like my friend and sell a legendary Battle Imagine Will for over 1,000,000 Luno and be set for a while. Bound Rose Orbs are for use in the mystery, fashion, and colorful stores. Acquire these from Season Pass stuff, the Trial Path, Achievements, World Bosses, Stymon Vaults, Basic Star Chests, or the Monthly Card. Generally, cosmetics are bought with Rose Orbs, but occasionally you can buy some progression-related materials. Unbound Rose Orbs. Use them on outfits and wishes. You can get these from the paid monthly card or buy them directly for real cash. Friendship Points. Used for buying various things through the Friendship Store. Emotes, Bound Rose Orbs, dies, name cards, and some outfits. You get these from doing things with friends or participating in specific seasonal events. The max you can get is about 2,000 per week, 1,000 from combat-focused activities and 1,000 from leisure. Honor Coin.
My weapon is low on honor.
These are used to buy progression-related materials. Arcane Seals, Advanced Books, Starforged Crystals, Alloy Shards, and Reforged Stones are among the options. The max is 10,000 per week, and you get them from practically everything. Asteria Reputation. By the name, I assume there will be more types of reputation currencies in the future. These are used in the Reputation store for some outfits, healing items, and other currencies. Acquire these from region quests, world bosses, and monster hunts. Season 1 points.
I think that enemy got the point.
These are used in the season store for emblem upgrade materials among other items. As per the name, you get these for completing the season pass related activities. Guild tokens. These are used within the guild store to buy focus potions, supply chests, and other materials. Get them from any guild-related activity. Homestead coins. These are used to buy life skill-related items, gardening stuff, and furniture at your homestead store. You'll get these from turning in homestead commissions or by buying bags from the Mystery Orb and Friendship Point stores. Meow. There are actually 3 Meow valuable items that are in reality currencies. Meow Premium Cards, Meow Coin, and Meow Vault Tickets. All are used in the Meow store for premium outfits, accessories, mounts, among other things. Get the cards from Wishes or the Trading Center, the coins from the Member Center for completing fashion-related activities, and the Vault Tickets from Wishes or buy them in the Mystery Store if they are in rotation. Reclaim tokens. This is your pity currency. If you don't have enough points to redeem your weekly rewards, then you are compensated with reclaim tokens as you gain honor coin. Spend these in the Reclaim Hub in exchange for those weekly rewards that you missed, albeit at a loss of some value. Will Wish coins.
More Wilson. Hugs.
These are used for pulls, which we'll talk about shortly. I really wish there weren't these many currencies to keep track of. But this is a certain type of game, a gacha game. The main gacha mechanic for Blue Protocol Star Residence is pulling for wills to craft battle imagines. Speak to our main man Mason once again.
Fuck you!
Wills have banners that offer differing rewards on rotation, which you spend Will Wish coins on. To get Will Wish coins, you need to access the Battle Will Exchange and spend 150 bound Rose Orbs per coin. Once that's done, access the Will Wish tab and optionally resonate with the super rare will that you want. You have a 0.15% base chance of getting a SSR every pull. Pity-wise, you are guaranteed one every 80 wishes, bringing the probability up to around 1.35%. If you get an SSR, the type of will is evenly divided amongst the options, unless you resonated for a specific one. The probabilities for everything are listed on screen, so pause at your leisure. Funnily enough, I plan to do just one 10 pull for the footage and managed to pull the SSR Tina.
Holy shit, I got it. What the fuck? Okay, well, I'm never doing that again.
If you don't pull any wills, you will usually accumulate fragments, which can be exchanged for wills once you have enough. You can also dismantle any unwanted wills for fragments too. Any wills gained through wishing cannot be traded in the trading center, unlike the ones dropped when grinding bosses and elites. As I'm writing this portion, I found out there is yet another currency for Gatcha. Accessing the Wish tab on your menu brings you to the Meow Lux banners, which offer limited outfits and mounts at different probabilities when compared to wills. These Meow Lux banners require Meow Lux Wish coins, which you can obtain through the Season Pass or through buying a Meow Lux mystery box in the Colorful Orb store for 150 unbound Rose Orbs. You can also buy the bound versions of the Meow Lux Wish coins directly at a max of 3 per week. In other news, the monthly card is not worth it. You'll get plenty of bound Rose Orbs as you play, and the only reason to buy this is for the unbound ones. There are 2 types of season passes you can purchase, the Advance for $9.99 USD and the Supreme for $19.99.
Wow! That's a low price!
Both offer the same rewards: bound Rose Orbs, Luno, Wish Coins, outfits, talent seals, focus potions, etc., provided you complete your dailies and weeklies. The only difference with the Supreme is that you immediately gain 150k unbound Luno, a player card, 5 focus potions, and special privileges. These privileges boost your efficiency when collecting activity merits, season pass experience, and honor coins. It also boosts your season pass level by about 10 and adds an extra mystery store refresh, letting you buy more materials. Anybody that buys this is going to spend less time grinding and be ahead of the game. If you want, you can also buy the season pass levels directly using unbound Rose Orbs. If you're smart, you'll use the wide variety of currencies to buy items for progression-related materials through the various shops. Again, most of these can be acquired from playing the game, but those with large wallets will undoubtedly have an advantage, especially since some things are sold for exorbitant prices in the trading center. This game can be considered pay to win, but I will say that the time gating does even the playing field just a little bit. Items like the talent seals are useless unless you obtain talent points, which cannot be bought. While you can buy the advanced books to advance skills, you can only do so far until they are barred by the omnipresent Timegate. Same thing for leveling skills up, as the daily max level cap prevents you from doing so. More than likely, you'll be able to spot a whale not by their prowess and combat, but by the outfits and mounts that they own.
Why does Freerin have a mech?
Anecdotally, I haven't found people doing millions of points of damage in one hit, slaughtering the boss instantly, while I'm just stuck here doing 20k at a similar level, and that's a good thing. Okay, I think I'm done talking about this now. Time to move on to the other stuff. Graphics, sound, and performance. To talk about the graphics, we need to briefly mention the development of this game. You see, the reason why Blue Protocol Star Residence has that subtitle is because there used to be another game in this series named just Blue Protocol.
Wow!
This was originally published in Japan by Bandai Namco in 2023 with a planned global release at a later date. A mobile spin-off to the series, titled Blue Protocol Star Resonance, began development soon after at the Tencent-owned Bokura, but unfortunately the OG shut down due to poor financial performance, canceling the global release. Some of the OG devs jumped ship to Bokura and continued Star Resonance's work, ultimately adding PC to the platforms it would eventually globally release on. So yeah, Star Resonance is first and foremost a mobile game. This explains its graphics and somewhat poor performance. Yeah, I can't comfortably run this game at anything more than medium. I must mention that my 1.5-year-old RX 6800 XT started dying a year into its lifespan, so mind the stretchy polygons. I can't afford a new GPU right now. Nevertheless, Star Resonance has that generic anime game style and runs at a max of 120 FPS in towns if you choose that option. A noticeable decrease in performance occurs during world bosses and some dungeons due to the amount of effects and players on screen, which you can decrease in the visual settings menu among other basic options. The performance drop is not enough to mess up your gameplay, however. What is a problem is the horrendous server lag that occurs when fighting some world bosses like Iron Fang. Everyone and their mother shows up to fight it, and it also has one nasty rock attack in particular that causes server lag. But hey, at least you can fight Iron Fang with super resolution enabled. In terms of environmental design, there are some memorable places to be found in Star Resonance. Asterleeds itself is decently pretty and has you hopping from rooftops to rooftops with your infinite stamina. The problem is these same rooftops appear to be copy and pasted everywhere, like a kid who just got a hold of a ink stamper for the first time. The music here is cheerful in the day and chill at night, so you have something to listen to while you are crafting or participating in questionable RP. Another place of note is the Statue of the Hero, a statue of a dude with a sword surrounded by fountains flowing into a small pond. Personally, this area boasts the best music track in the game. Take a listen. It feels as though it's musically edging Joe Hisaishi style from Studio Ghibli fame. Come on, come on. Oh, I also took this neat photo over at the Canyon Floating Island in Winhow Canyon, an uncanny resemblance to that of the Xenoblade Chronicles series box art. What about Mr. Horn, a town with wheat fields and windmills? Or even the ruins of Andra City with its floating rune machine thing surrounded by rocky spires and a collapsing town reminiscent of Ulasil. The interior design is whatever, really. You've got your caves and ancient ruins. The Asterleeds interiors are nice to look at, I guess. To be honest, I kind of blazed through most of the interior sections without thinking. Nothing really stood out to me besides the final story dungeon of the arc with its anti-gravity verticality.
Kind of cool, I guess.
The worst looking area of the game by far is the underground district, a maze of pipes and sewers that are unpleasant to look at. Paired with the most boring quest chain in the game, I don't want to be here any longer than I need to be. I guess it did its job. There aren't any sounds of note in this game that I would consider ear candy. Sorry, audiophiles. In terms of UI design, well, it's complete unfettered ass. Look at all those buttons. There are some menus I didn't even know existed until I stumbled upon them partway through writing this video. Even then, there are some menus like the Meow Lux Member Center, not the Member Store, the Member Center, that I spent 10 minutes looking for.
It took me 10 minutes to get here.
You would think it would be on the same page as the other Meow Lux things, which themselves are found by pressing the Meow button inside of the standard store page. But no, you have to go into your wardrobe and then access the Meow Member Center on the bottom left. Another thing I can't seem to figure out is how to re-access the potential activation page, which appears when you unlock new traversal skills via level up, such as the extra jumps. Where the fuck is it? Like, I can go into the skill menu, then check the Terra Resident skills to find the Phantom Dash and Float abilities, but where is the page with all of the jumps? You'd think it'd be linked here, but I can't find it. When you unlock new abilities, you press N to bring up the page, but pressing N now just brings up the talent tree with no link to it. There are certain times where I'd like to disable the wall running because I get stuck, and I know it's possible to do so on that menu, but I can't fucking find it.
Is it in life skills? No.
Bugs, glitches, and suggestions. Right, I'll just blast through these, but I'll discount any visual glitches because it could be due to my wonky GPU. The Star Residence team really needs to reorganize the UI. Put the damn potential activation page with the skills. Squish all of the stores onto one page with dividers. Fucking remove the season pass button because all that does is give you an ad for the paid versions and doesn't actually allow you to access the basic pass. You have to go into the season hub, which is a separate button on the main page of the menu. There are also two separate achievement pages, one for season related stuff and one for the base game. Put those on the same page with a divider. Some of the text in the chat bleeds off its bubble when wrapping to the next line. Story animations of characters feel incredibly stilted or end early. Not sure if that's intentional.
My
guide is just frozen.
At certain points within the story, the audio went in and out. Don't know why.
What the fuck?
There are a good amount of black screens with text, some of which had content that should have been animated instead.
Bruh.
When voice acting is used, is really inconsistent. In the same cutscene, you can have voice-acted characters mixed with others that are not. It really throws me off.
What? Okay.
The storytelling also has inconsistencies, like when Tina was posthumously awarded a medal even though she is alive. Another example is the stormy weather suddenly becoming clear in one cutscene and back to stormy in the next, even though they take place in the same location. There is server lag and certain boss battles, which I assume will get better as time goes on. I had to reset the priest escort quest because I got soft locked. The timing of certain shots in this story are either too quick or too slow.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Mustache. It's my warp stash. That was really quick.
This happens enough times to be noticeable with the black screen text overlays and prevents me from reading them completely or makes me press escape to skip it.
Oh, let me try it. After putting on the gloves, I passed through the electric okay, I can't read it.
In one instance, my friend could still walk around in an unstable space end screen.
Yeah, I got 3 as well.
I'm still here.
I'll take it. Why, bro? Is it?
Yeah, why?
Oh my god.
He's stuck.
Here's a question. Why can I leave a homestead by pressing P but can't leave my guild the same way? I am forced to walk to the exit to leave. I believe there was a point where my friend didn't get any world boss drops despite his participation, although I may be misremembering. It would be nice if there were more things to do inside of your guild. There should be workstations for everything here, not just cooking. At the very least, allow us to unlock them via upgrades. Speaking of which, I kinda wish there was a way to directly access the life skill crafting menus without having to jump between the stations and Aster leads. Maybe a nice compromise would be to have them all accessible via a menu as long as you are in town. Stamina in the overworld is way too low when compared to our current movement abilities. I hope this increases as time goes on. Fishing should probably be labeled as a gathering life skill since it contains important ingredients used in culinary. It also takes way too long to level up. This is ridiculous. The camera should come with a free cam mode. You can't really move it far away from your character otherwise. Finally, please let me jump off a building while in the camera's selfie mode.
Oh.
Conclusions. Overall, I think Blue Protocol Star Resonance is a decent game, albeit generic. It's a middle-of-the-road 5 out of 10 as of right now. The graphics are anime mobile game graphics, but it has decent overall design. The gameplay is fun, albeit a bit grindy.
43.
The music has its sweet spots. The story is kind of ridiculous at points. And the community, well, it's an anime video game community.
Sorry, I'd like to apologize for my outburst. Please join my guild.
Just going to say it, Star Resonance is not as good as the likes of Final Fantasy XIV, but as a free-to-play MMORPG, I think it's well worth checking out if you have friends to dive in with you. If you're playing solo, definitely hold off until more stuff comes out. Monetization aside, the endgame gear grind is certainly a grind, and while the time gate is a bit annoying, it does prevent whales from completely ruining the combat. It also gives you a reason to log out at the end of the day, something many MMO players have a hard time doing. Ultimately, this game has potential, and if Final Fantasy XIV's development is anything to go by, with time, Blue Protocol Star Resonance can fully realize its own. Oh, I found it.